The boat touched the rocky shore of Gerasenes, and Jesus stepped onto the land. The air was heavy, the wind carrying the distant cries of someone in torment. His disciples, still uneasy from the storm they had faced earlier on the lake, stayed close behind him. Suddenly, from the shadows of the tombs, a wild figure emerged. His hair was tangled, his body scarred, his eyes burning with madness. His skin bore the marks of chains that had failed to hold him. This was no ordinary man. He was feared by the entire town, living among the dead, shrieking through the night. But now, at the sight of Jesus, he fell to his knees. His voice, or rather, the voice of something within him, screamed in terror. "What do you want with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? I beg you, don't torture me." Jesus looked at him with divine authority and spoke a single command. "Come out of this man, you unclean spirit." The man's body shuddered, his mouth twisted in anguish. The demons inside him writhed, knowing they were no match for the one who stood before them. "What is your name?" Jesus asked. A guttural voice replied, "Legion, for we are many." A chilling silence followed. The demons knew their end was near, but instead of being cast into the abyss, they begged Jesus, "Send us into the pigs! Let us enter them!" Jesus nodded. With a single word, he gave them permission. Suddenly, a nearby herd of 2,000 pigs went wild. The animals squealed in terror, their bodies convulsing as the unclean spirits took hold of them. Then, as if driven by madness, they rushed toward the edge of the cliff and plunged into the sea below. The water foamed as the pigs drowned. Then, silence. The herdsmen, having witnessed everything, ran into the town, shouting about what had happened. Soon a crowd gathered, but when they arrived, what they saw terrified them more than the demon-possessed man ever had. There he was, clothed, calm, and sitting at Jesus' feet. The same man who had once raged among the tombs, the same man who had broken chains and filled the night with screams, was now whole. Instead of rejoicing, the people were afraid. They had seen Jesus' power, and it was more than they could handle. "Leave us," they pleaded, and so Jesus turned to leave, but the healed man ran to him, eyes filled with longing. "Lord, let me go with you," he pleaded. But Jesus smiled and said, "Go home. Tell everyone what God has done for you." The man hesitated but then nodded, understanding his new mission. As Jesus and his disciples sailed away, the once demon-possessed man stood on the shore, watching until the boat disappeared into the horizon. Then he turned toward the town, the same town that had rejected him for years, and began to declare the wonders of Jesus Christ. And the story of his transformation spread throughout the whole region.